Welcome everyone to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are in VR in the Quest 2 today, and I've got something rather special to show you. Now, if you've never heard of a company called Authentikit, and I'm pretty certain you have by now because I've shown their product on the channel a number of times, well, this is going to be a very special video because today I'm going to show you, in fact you can probably already see on the left hand side, an exact replica of a P40 throttle quadrant, as you can see there, which feels amazing because as I'm looking at it, I'm feeling the exact same place where it is in the real cockpit, and the rudder and sort of trim wheel as well. Look at this, all working incredibly well. Now you might think something like this would cost just crazy amounts of money. Well, no, actually it is essentially freeware hardware, and that is Authentikit's concept. It's always been about providing free designs that you can print off at home. Pretty amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly this beautiful P40 Tomahawk by Big Radials. And if you haven't got this yet, it's an old aircraft now. It's been out for a while, but I highly recommend it. We're going to fly over to Eastbourne because they're holding an air show right now. And we're going to attempt to do our own air show using these flight controls. Now at the moment, I can tell that I'm a little bit nose high, so I'm going to come over here and adjust it with the very same trim wheel that's in the real thing. I'm not sure if you can see that on the bottom image there, but look at that. And one thing that really does feel very special, regardless of the fact that I'm using the same replica controls you'd find in the real aircraft in VR, which is amazing in itself, is the feeling of flight. It feels very different. In fact, the sim feels more fluid and more easier to sort of manhandle, you know, these warbirds. I've got a larger range of motion. It's pretty much exactly how it would be in real life. So, you know, combined with VR, that is something very special indeed. And with these visuals, it's just so good. So we're going to find Beachy Head, which I believe is just over there to our sort of 12 o'clock position. And we're going to put this P40 through its paces. Now, if you're anything like me and you don't have a 3D printer, or perhaps you don't really, you know, you're not really into sourcing the parts yourself, well, Authentikit have got your back with that as well, because they have a website called SimKit Supplies, and there you will find all of the resources you need to build your own spade grip, throttle quadrant, trim wheel, whatever you need. And actually, Phil, who's the creator of Authentikit, has a range. That was my headset beeping at me because the battery's a bit low. He has a range of different sort of assembly instruction videos which are very easy to understand. Right, this is Beachy Head now, so that means over there is the sort of Eastbourne air show. We're going to put this P40 through its paces and see how it feels really to basically experience the exact same flight controls you'd find in a real P40 and in VR. You know, the real special thing about this is as I look down at the rudder and trim wheel and the throttle quadrant, I'm feeling the same flight controls in VR. And I can't tell you what that does to the immersion. It's a massive difference, and it feels really special every time you fly with an Authentikit range of flight controls. It's absolutely remarkable. Anyway, it's now time to run in and do our display at Eastbourne. So prop fully forward, mixture fully rich. Here we go. Okay, straight into a loop here, and this just feels absolutely incredible. I think the only thing missing now is a motion rig to really give you that sense of sort of, you know, the movement in VR. There we go. Away from the crowd line here, and we're going to do a bit of a Cuban, well, half Cubanate maneuver back on the display line. Now, if you're wondering how authentic the Authentikit range of hardware is, I'll just post up either some photos or video footage of a real Spitfire cockpit, and there you can see the Authentikit 3D printed flight controls next to it. Look at that. It's an exact 1-to-1 scale replica. You're not going to get that anywhere else, folks. Even if you had the money and there was something out there, which there isn't, well, you know, you'd have to spend thousands on experiencing what I'm doing right now, which is essentially free. Just a few man hours, or if you've got a 3D printer, you know, you can sort of assemble this yourself. The whole experience just comes together to feel absolutely amazing. Especially for VR lovers, without a doubt. We'll attempt a nice close loop. What is it about this feeling? It's hard to describe, but I can be so precise. And I have a really nice joystick, a sort of VKB Gladiator joystick, which I do use quite a lot. But if I'm ever using Warbirds, it's always the Spay Grip, because it just feels right. It feels like I'm flying a real aircraft, without a doubt. So all the links will be in the description below, including Phil's Discord channel, which is full of Authentikit fans that will help you out and get you on your sort of journey to experience what is absolutely incredible, you know, to feel the real flight controls of an aircraft, particularly if you're a massive fan of, say, the Spitfire or the P40. And not to mention, Phil has got plans for the future for different aircraft, maybe even including GA aircraft as well. This could be, I don't want to say the word, folks, because it's used a lot these days, but it is a game changer, particularly for the hardware market. We'll come in for a bit of a victory roll here at Eastbourne to finish our little display. But this is just a wonderful experience, it really is. And to think I've only been using this particular setup with the P40 throttle quadrant and trim wheel for about half an hour, and already I know exactly where it is. I don't need muscle memory because it's exactly where it would be in the real aircraft. You know what it's like, folks, when, say, when I got the honeycomb flight yoke, I was fumbling around for ages, for weeks afterwards, trying to work out where buttons were in VR. But with this, I instantly know where things are because it's exactly where it would be in the real aircraft. And that's the key there. Not only that, the Spay Grip gives me such an amazing range of movement that I just don't get with anything else. So I hope you enjoyed that sort of first impression look at the Authentikit P40 throttle quadrant and rudder and trim wheel setup. It really is amazing, and it just brings your flight immersion, particularly in VR, absolutely to the next level. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.